All right, so what are we on? 17, I think. Video 17 on this thing. Pulled it out of the garage, cleaned up the garage a little bit, and backed it in, moved my little scissor lift over toward the middle of the floor, so I actually got some room. So let's talk about, you guys keep mentioning these doors. A couple of you have mentioned the doors. I know on one of the early videos I'd mentioned lengthening these doors, and I think it would have looked better presentation purposes to lengthen the doors. And yeah, the junior door is getting in and out of. I read all of you guys' comments. I actually legitly do. So let's open this door and just look at the seat position. Any car, pretty much, that's about where your seat's going to be. Okay? There's plenty of room to get in and out. I have the seat damn near all the way back right now, I think. Hang on. Yeah, that's it. This seat is maxed back. Okay? The problem is right in here. This is where the problem is with this thing. That's where your feet are hitting. That's where it's a pain in the ass. To get in and out of it, though, it's not so bad. Now let's go to the other side. This side I just kind of started, we'll call it piss tacking it together. I just started on this. So, passenger seat all the way forward, lean forward. There's plenty of room to get in and out of here if we're going to put a back seat in this thing. Okay? It would be nicer with the doors back. Maybe the opening's about 6 inches longer or whatever. But I don't know what route I'm going with this thing yet. I don't know if it's going to be like an El Camino. If it's going to be, we're going to put an actual back seat in this thing. If I'm going to make a fire truck out of it. Like I don't know yet. But the problem is, with these doors, is really all of this would have had to have gotten modified. And then you guys might be saying, well, why don't you just move the cowl and all that, this piece here forward? I can't move this any more forward because, for one, we're getting a little bit close to these tires, and for two, for the fenders. You get where I'm going? And looking at this thing, it already looks like this fender is too far forward. So if I move this forward, it's bringing the fenders forward, which is going to even create more chaos for me when I go to put this thing together. It's just, the way this vehicle's designed, the other one, I mean, it had a little 4-cylinder engine. The engine was tucked a lot further back in the chassis. Just the shape of this chassis is 100 times different. I mean, you figure the truck, you got fender right here, and then the door starts. There is no big piece in between. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I left these doors alone. That and the doors are in actually really nice shape. The doors, fender, and hood are the only nice thing on this. The rest of it is just rotted out. So that's why I did what I did. And not only that, I mean, it's saving me days to try to get these doors right. Just, it would take a couple days. And the doors are curved, you know. Then you got the body line to deal with, which I'm doing here. And this is just, excuse the welds. I mean, I'm using this welder, and this thing is about on its last leg. I have the thing cranked all the way up as hot as it'll go, and it's still, it's not doing what I need it to do. But it's going to get us put together enough to where I can, hopefully next week, throw a dealer plate on this thing and drive it down to the shop and then I can finish really welding it up. So the rest of this weekend is just going to be all mocking up. We're going to make that filler piece for the quarter panel. I'm going to cut the rocker panel to fit the vehicle. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do in here for attaching the factory truck sheet metal to the Jeepster sheet metal. I moved the body forward last night about an inch. I don't know if you can see that bracket. Hang on. Right there, you can see where the bracket, I cut it and slid the body forward. It's roughly an inch because it was driving me insane with the spacing between the tires and the edges of the fenders here. I think it's a lot more centered now than what it was, or it's pretty damn close. We're not going after perfection. This thing is just an old ratty. I took 2 ratty vehicles and I'm just trying to build something kind of different here. People want to walk around the thing and analyze every little mistake on it. Well, they could just pretty much kiss my ass. That's the way I see it. You know, I could spend 500 hours on this thing and make a perfect vehicle, or I could spend 200 hours on it and make something that's cool and fun to drive and not really care. So that's where we're at with this thing. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of update on what was going on with the doors. I mean, it does look weird with this longer quarter panel. It would be really cool. Somebody mentioned making a 4-door out of this. I mean, that would be really badass. But in order for me to make doors, I mean, it would just be insanity to make this thing a 4-door. So that's where we're going to leave it. I got to go down and get some more kerosene for these heaters. It's cold. It's crappy. It's rainy. And then, of course, you know, when I flop the rear part of the body off of the Jeepster was sitting right here where this crap is. Of course, it came off. It hit the damn wood stove and knocked the pipe off the wood stove and ruined my wood stove chimney, which is only, I just got to go get a 90 and a couple pieces of pipe. But we're running the kerosene heaters today, but it is just nasty, windy, freaking, it's crappy out. It's freaking crappy. Alright. Well, y'all have a goody-goody, and I'm sure we'll be uploading more for you soon. Off.